So in today's video, we're going to be diving deep into one of our commerce pillar modules, which is our distributed inventory and order management system. I'll be taking you through a standard order lifecycle and telling you about the capabilities that we have built in our OMS that allow you to automate your operations while looking at this order lifecycle. Let's dive right into it. So what is an OMS and how does an OMS work? An OMS basically fulfills the most important part of e-commerce, which is getting orders that customers place on your e-commerce channels into the customer's hands as soon as possible. So a standard, very high level order lifecycle is going to be customer places an order on your e-commerce channel, you fulfill that order as soon as possible, dispatch it, have it delivered into the customer's hands, and then you look at your end-to-end metrics to measure success, to make improvements in your operations. Let's dive a little bit deeper into this. So if you look at a typical order lifecycle, we've got these 6 steps. A customer places an order, their order is verified, it's handed over to your warehouse or store operations staff who pick and pack it. Once it's packed, it's dispatched, handed over to a 3PL partner, order gets delivered. In some cases, it may get returned and refunds may need to be processed. And then you're looking at the end-to-end metrics of how you've performed and how to make improvements in your operations. So when you look at the first step, customer places an order, we typically now have a multi-channel approach that a lot of mid-market and enterprise retailers use. So you don't just have your own website, but you're looking at your apps as well. You're looking at various third-party marketplace channels also. How do you seamlessly integrate your inventory on all these channels? And how do you seamlessly get orders and process them as soon as possible and into the hands of your customers? So the tools that we have over here have been built with years of customer consultation and looking at the requirements. We obviously want to be able to take orders from multiple channels. So we've got integrations built out for all the standard e-commerce platforms that are out there, whether you're talking about Shopify or you're talking about Magento, WooCommerce. You can have your own custom e-commerce platforms as well. You could be using our headless commerce platform module for your e-commerce purposes. You can have mobile apps that you're using. These could be in-store kiosks as well that customers are using to place orders. The way we've been able to cater to all these various channels is taking an API first approach. So our standards based APIs are very easy to consume, and we've built these adapters for the leading e-commerce platforms that are out there. So next in the order lifecycle comes the order verification step. So in emerging economies, customers will typically choose either cash on delivery or the more emerging payment types like cards, wallets, BNPL. When it comes to cash, because that's still a major method of payment for e-commerce, we need to employ some order verification capabilities. So whether that is confirming your phone number through an OTP on a text message, or whether it's getting a robotic call through an IVR system, you need to employ these mechanisms to be able to verify your orders in an automated fashion. Because otherwise it becomes too much of a hassle for your customer services teams to be going in and verifying these orders and then processing them. What we typically want to do, obviously through order verification, is to reduce the return rate, which can get very high without these mechanisms and these automations. So we integrate with various SMS text providers for OTP verifications. We integrate with IVR solution providers as well for robotic call or verifications. And then we also have other automations built in that allow us to make this a seamless and a smooth process. So for example, if your customer has placed an order with you that has been delivered, that does build credibility for that customer and build something, some sort of a credit score for them. So that allows you to then process their future orders without verifying perhaps. In some cases, customers may have refused a large number of orders that they've placed on your e-commerce channel. So you can also blacklist these customers, and if they place future orders, they get marked instantaneously, and you know that you need to take extra precautions or to cancel those orders as well. When it comes to other capabilities like payment verifications and confirmations of card payments as well, we've integrated with our payment module so that you get confirmations that payments have come through, have been authenticated and authorized through 3D Secured, for example, so that you have a clear indication of what the status of that order or that payment is. So we've got these automations built for both cash on delivery as well as for digital payment mechanisms. This allows your customer services team to scale up and then handle your peak season loads in a safe way, so that order return rates still remain low and you are running an efficient business and not losing a lot of money on logistics costs. Next, let's look at the third step in our order lifecycle, which is actually the fulfillment of it. How do you pick and pack? But before that happens, you need to actually allocate that order to a location from where it will be fulfilled from. How do you make that order routing, order allocation decision? Now that can become really complicated, and an OMS needs to be able to manage that complexity in your real life operations. So various things may need to happen to an order before it can actually be assigned to a location from where it will be fulfilled from. An order may need to be routed to the location closest to a customer, for example, to deliver it faster, to save upon logistics costs. It may need to be split up because that entire order may not be fulfillable from a particular location, and you may need to split it up on various factors. For example, location SKU A may need to be sent to location A and SKU B may need to be sent to location B for fulfillment. Or you may need to split up based on the quantity levels of a particular SKU. So for example, a customer may have ordered 10 items of SKU A and only 5 are available at location A and the rest of the 5 are available on location B. So you may have to split on the basis of quantity levels as well. That is pretty advanced functionality for an OMS. And we cater to that seamlessly to keep your operations flowing in an efficient manner. The other thing that we've done very recently that gives our order routing superpowers essentially is the capability to use order parameters to use to route your orders dynamically. So you may route them on the basis of, for example, the method of payment. So all your card orders, because may need to be delivered from a particular location, or your international orders placed on your international website may need to be fulfilled from another location. For example, if your customer order has a loyalty member tag, you may need to give that priority fulfillment. So that may be routed to another location for priority fulfillment. So anyways, these are just examples. The main point is that you can now look at order level and order line item level parameters to be able to make these routing decisions on the fly. We've got other advanced capabilities over here as well. So for example, you may say that because my customer is placing an order from city A, I want to first look at all my locations in city A to be able to route that order to for fulfillment before I consider city B for fulfillment. And so it will go and look at all the fulfillment locations in a particular city first, and then move on to another location, city or region for fulfillment purposes. So those are extremely advanced level configurations that are possible in the OMS that allow you to route your order to the right location, whether it's a warehouse, whether it's a physical retail store, and then we give the tools to the staff at those locations in order to quickly pick that order, pack that order, and dispatch that order. Now, that comes in the forms of obviously, pick lists and scan lists, but we're also integrating our picking and packing apps with our OMS that then really make it efficient and easy for our customer staff, their operations staff, to pick and pack these orders very efficiently. Once that order has been picked and it's been packed, we go to the next step of our order life cycle. Let's have a look at that. So your order has been picked and packed and is ready for dispatch. Now, who delivers that order to the customer? Our OMS has integrated with dozens and dozens of 3PL partners. For each country that we operate in, we are very easily able to create these adapters that integrate with the local 3PL partners. We integrate with almost all the 3PL partners that are operating in Pakistan, for example. We have integrated and are integrating with multiple 3PL partners in the Middle East, North Africa region. We've integrated with DHL and FedEx, and we have a whole list of these adapters that we're currently working on that will then allow us to seamlessly dispatch orders with a particular 3PL partner. Now, how do we decide which 3PL partner to give this fulfillment to? So we are able to create rules, dynamic rules on this end as well. We are able to use fixed rules on the basis of, for example, do not give more than X% of orders to partner A and Y% of orders to partner B. Beyond those thresholds, shift to this partner to book that order with for fulfillment. So those are fixed rules and dynamic rules that we're able to, decide which 3PL to use for fulfillment. But we're also now able to use machine learning powers to be able to decide which is going to be the best partner to fulfill this particular order. We can look at past fulfillment data over the last 7 days, last 14 days. We're able to look at their delivery success ratios. We're able to look at the delivery times. We're able to look at the cost of fulfillment, and using all those parameters, we're able to decide what the best 3PL partner is to use for this particular order. Now, having this capability available as a simple configuration on a UI is what the true power of our OMS really is. And we're sure and we're confident that these powers will really make an improvement to your North Star metrics, which most likely are or should be how quickly you're able to fulfill an order after it's been placed on your customer touchpoint. Moving on to the next step of our order life cycle, we are now at the point where we've dispatched the order and it's on its way to the customer. After dispatch, there are multiple states and order fulfillment may take. It may be with the courier, it may be at their warehouse, it may be out for delivery, it may be delivered, it may be returned. All those statuses are kept in check and tracked through our integrations with our 3PL partners. This gives you real-time insight, and your customer services teams and your customers real-time insight into where a particular order is. And this reduces the load on your customer services team. It gives greater insight and confidence to your customers. And then at the end of the day, you're able to very quickly, instantaneously reconcile how much of your orders are in process, delivered, returned. And when it comes to cash on delivery orders, you need to be able to do financial reconciliation as well. And this real-time integration with our 3PLs allows you to do that at any point in time. And that gives your finance teams the confidence to know how much money a particular partner may owe you, how much they've already paid out, how much is still pending. Let's move on to the next step of our order lifecycle, which is in a few cases, obviously returns and refunds happen. And so how do we handle that? So order was delivered. In some cases, the customer may wish to return their order and then get a refund as well. Now, how do they initiate that return request? An RMA can be requested, obviously should be requestable on your customer website or through your apps, by your customer services agents. And we've made this an API first process as well. So on your website, customer can look up their order on their account or enter order details, pull that order up, and then request a return right there and then. At which point they're issued an RMA number, which they can then use to send the order back through their chosen courier partner or through your mandated courier partners. And once that order is received and checked, it may either be closed because that order is in fact not eligible for a return, or that may go to a state which is a pending refund state, which then requires your finance team or somebody controlling your finances to be able to issue that refund, either through a payment gateway or by issuing a coupon for a cash on delivery order, or through a bank transfer, for example. So managing that process and having real-time insight into what orders are pending for return, what have been returned, which orders have been checked, which are eligible for refunds, where what refunds have been processed, what are still pending, and what are actually eventually closed out. So that is an important process that we also automate through the returns and refunds process. Now, tying all of this together is the capability to look at all these metrics in real time, looking at your North Star metrics, looking at order defect rate metrics, looking at fulfillment time metrics, looking at which of your 3PL partners are performing the best, what their lead times are, what their delivery times are, at what point are your orders getting held up in your own fulfillment process. So are they taking too much time in your verification? Are they taking too much time in picking and packing? Are they taking too much time in dispatching? Are they taking too much time in processing refunds, returns and refunds? So that those operational metrics become extremely important for you to then optimize your operations further. The faster you can deliver an order to a customer, the higher the chances of building customer loyalty, the higher the chances of a repeat purchase, the higher the chance of that customer referring your brand to their friends and family. So it's extremely important to have the right tool set in place in order to automate as much of this very complex process, especially when it comes to omni-channel order fulfillment. The more configurability that you are able to provide to your customers, the more customizations in the workflow that they particularly want to use in order to fulfill an order, the insight that you could give them, the insight that you can give your 3PL partners who may be integrated with your platform. All those things together have one core aim, and that is to make this a world-class experience for your customers. They place an order and that order seamlessly gets delivered to them, and they are informed of what step their order is at throughout that entire process. So all these tools and capabilities and many more, which we'll be exploring in a subsequent video where I'll be happy to show you demos of how our product works and how all these capabilities come together, will really demonstrate to you and bring the point home of what a next-gen distributed order management and an inventory management system really looks like. I hope that was able to give you some insight as to how modern OMSs are supposed to work, and I hope you've got more clarity as to how to navigate this complex world of omni-channel order management. Thank you for your time.